Hello. Today we are going to talk about equilateral and isosceles triangles. So one thing we need to know about equilateral and isosceles triangles is that they still do measure 180 degrees. So yesterday we identified the legs and the base of an isosceles triangle in our notes. Today we're going to take a look at just a few more pieces. Let's quickly review our legs. Our legs were the two sides that are congruent, and I know they're not marked on here, so I'm going to mark them right here. AB and BC are the legs of this isosceles triangle. The third side, the side that measures different, is the base, so that's AC. We haven't yet talked about the angles. Now the angles correspond with the sides. If you remember back to putting them in order from smallest to greatest, we always moved across the triangle. So across from the base is angle B, and that's called the vertex angle. So angle B is the vertex angle. The base angles are the two angles that are across from your congruent sides. And what's nice about these two angles, angle A and angle C, is that they are also congruent. So because those two sides are congruent, those two base angles are congruent. Because we can use the concept of knowing your base angles are congruent to solve for missing angle measures, we can do that. So here I give you a triangle. It says nothing about the sides, but I give you side lengths. So what are you supposed to do? Well, if you look carefully, you have two base angles that are congruent. Therefore, our sides are congruent. So you can take those two sides, 4x plus 17, and set it equal to 6x minus 3. So if you go ahead and move your x's to one side, you have 17 equals 2x minus 3. Add your 3, and so you have 20 equals 2x. Divide by 2, x equals 10. And if I wanted to know all the missing side lengths, which I do here, we're going to take that 10 and substitute it back in. So 4 times 10 is 40, plus 17 is 57. Now because this side is 57, we can say this side is 57. And then that third side, we would say 2 times 10 minus 9, which is 20 minus 9, or 11. Here, you have to be careful on what you are going to do, on which side you're going to set equal. This time, the two sides on the left are the congruent ones, because you always go across from the sides that are congruent, or the angles that are congruent. So you're going to set 13x plus 7 equal to 5x plus 31. You would subtract 5x. 13 minus 5x is 8x. Subtract 7, and you're going to get 31 minus 7 is 24. When you divide by 8, x is 3. In this example, I only asked you to solve for x. Therefore, you are done with that problem. Not every time I'm going to give you a picture, so sometimes I'm going to ask you to draw one. So it says ABC is an isosceles triangle. We know isosceles triangles have two sides that are congruent, but we do not know what to label it yet. So AB is the base, and if you think back to the base, it's that third side that's not congruent, so we can label that AB, and it's got a length of 6x minus 11. AC has a length of 11x minus 15, and BC has a length of 4x plus 34. So see how it is easier to draw out the picture so you can kind of see what you are doing. So what we're going to do here is set the two sides that are congruent. Our two legs are congruent, therefore we can set them equal. So if we subtract 4x from 11x, you're going to get 7x minus 15 equals 34. And if you add 15, you're going to get 34 plus 15 gives you 49. Divide by 7, and x is 7. So we sketched an image, we solve for x, and I want to know the length of AB. AB, again, is the base. So we're going to take 6 times 7 minus 11, which is 42, minus 11 is 31. So AB has a length of 31. So you have to answer everything that I am asking. Sometimes it's just solve for x, sometimes it could just be draw a picture, sometimes it could just be set it up. So you have to pay attention to what you're doing. In example 4, it says the vertex angle of an isosceles triangle is 49 degrees. The sum of the two base angles must measure how many? So if we have an isosceles triangle, the vertex angle is 49 degrees. Because these two sides are congruent, remember those two bases are congruent. So whatever is left, we have to add base angle 1 plus base angle 2, and it has to equal what's left. So we would add all three angles together. It has to equal 180. So the sum of the other two, you would take 180 and subtract 49. And you're going to get the sum of the two base angles has to equal 131. In example 5, it says find x and all of the missing angle measures. That should say measures, I apologize. Now, two ways you can solve this problem. There are 180 degrees in this triangle. Add up all of your angles and set it equal to 180. Or you can say, well, since I have an isosceles triangle, this angle and this angle are congruent. So you can set those two equal. Either way you solve this, it's going to give you the same answer. So we can subtract 3x, and you're going to get 12x minus 24 is equal to 12. If you add 24, you're going to get 12x is equal to 36, and divide by 12, so x is 3. So you found x. Now you have to find the missing angle measures. So you're going to take this x is 3 and substitute it in. So you have 9 plus 12, which this is 21 degrees, which means this is 21 degrees. And then if you do 46 times 3, that gives you 138 degrees. Equilateral triangles are just a little bit different because there is only one equilateral triangle possible. So every single angle measure of an equilateral triangle is always 60 degrees. No matter what, this is the only triangle that will ever look like this. So this angle here is 60 degrees. This angle here is 60 degrees. And this angle here is 60 degrees. So even though we have three different variables, you can still set everything equal to 60. 12y is equal to 60, and z is equal to 60. So one variable solve for. When you divide by 3, x is 20. When you divide by 12, y is 5. And one more example, it says an equilateral has a perimeter of 9x minus 30. If one side of an equilateral triangle measures 2x plus 15, what is x? So the difference between an equilateral triangle and equal angular triangle is that when angles, they always add up to 180. For side lengths, those are what's going to change. So for this example, this side is 2x plus 15, but they're all congruent. So that side is 2x plus 15, as well as this side. So you can say, I have three sides of this 2x plus 15, and I know it has to equal 9x minus 30. Or you could have said 2x plus 15 plus 2x plus 15 plus 2x plus 15. I prefer this way. It's a lot easier to distribute and solve. So you would subtract 6x and get 45 is equal to 3x minus 30. Add 30. So you have 75 is equal to 3x. And when you divide that, x is 25. I did not ask for all the side lengths, which you could do. You could give that to me pretty simple. And that's it. You sketched an image and solved for x. If you have any questions, go ahead and come on in for help if you need it. And good luck on your homework.